Hi guys, sorry I'm not here. I'm helping my mom clean out her garage after one of her pipes busted during snowvid. So Friday, which is today, your assignment is to complete pages 17 and 18 in your ISNs, which I will go over that with you. Then you're going to do a checkpoint to go over all the body systems that we've covered. And then you guys are going to check out this DLA review that I have made for you since we're taking our DLA next week. All right, so let's go to the ISN. So we're on page 17. Okay, so 17 is about the reproductive system. I know it's funny to talk about reproduction and how people reproduce and all that because it's funny. So our function basically is to make offspring, to make children. Hopefully you remember back when we were talking about mitosis and meiosis, that through the process of meiosis, gametes are made. Gametes are sperm in male and eggs in female. You can see a picture right here, egg, sperm. I've included a picture of the male and female reproductive systems. And so basically within the female, you have ovaries, 2 fallopian tubes, 1 uterus, 1 vagina, a placenta, an umbilical cord, and amniotic fluid. Placenta, umbilical cord, and amniotic fluid relate only to a fetus when a woman is pregnant. Okay. For the males, there are 2 testes or testis, 1 urethra, 1 penis, 1 scrotum, and 1 prostate. The female reproductive system is actually pretty complicated in terms of like hormone regulation and stuff. So we've included a little chart over here, and it talks about how a female has a reproductive cycle of roughly every 28 days. An egg is released from the ovary, travels down the fallopian tubes. If sperm is there and comes in contact with the egg and the sperm is able to penetrate the egg, then that is when that becomes a zygote. Yes, which is a fertilized egg. And then that will implant itself inside the uterine wall. Eventually, if that is successful, will become a fetus and then a baby. There are 2 types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. So humans, we reproduce sexually, meaning that we need 2 gametes. Some organisms, including both plants and animals, can reproduce asexually. So they have only 1 parent. And for the most part, they make a clone of themselves. So it's exactly the same. So think about Star Wars like Clone Wars. So clones are exactly the same. What is our function of the reproductive system? To produce offspring or babies. To produce offspring, which are babies. So the whole purpose for having one is to make more humans specifically. Are gametes produced through mitosis or meiosis? They are produced through meiosis. All right. Interactions, hormones that affect the brain. Remember that the brain is part of the nervous system. Oops. Nervous. And I spelled system wrong. And our last one, glands are part of the endocrine, which I'm going to go over on the next slide. Goodness. Endocrine. All right, pause here if you need to make any changes or add anything. Okay, page 18, the endocrine system. So endocrine is basically all the glands in your body, and glands produce hormones. So glands can regulate long-term or short-term things. If you've ever heard somebody talking about adrenaline, adrenaline is a hormone that's produced by the adrenal glands. If you have somebody who maybe has diabetes, you probably heard them talk about insulin. Insulin is made by the pancreas, so another hormone. There are hormones that regulate all kinds of things: growth, sleep, reproductive, food, all kinds of stuff like that. So hormones are considered to be chemical messages. They are made inside glands and are released into the bloodstream to go wherever they need. There are many glands. The pituitary gland is it's in your brain. Okay. So it's kind of hard to point out. And it's going to regulate growth, reproduction, metabolism. The thymus is also in your brain. Okay. It regulates hunger, thirst, sleep, temperature, all kinds of stuff. Hypothalamus, also in the brain, helps with immune system. Adrenal glands. You actually have two adrenal glands. They each sit on top of your kidneys. And so adrenal glands produce adrenaline. If you are scared or if you are concerned or worried or like you're very tense and you have high anxiety because of a situation, it's probably because your body's producing adrenaline and you're getting ready to go into the fight or flight mode. The pineal gland is going to help with your like synchronizing sleeping and all that stuff. That's part of your brain. The thyroid is right here. It actually kind of looks like a little bow tie. And it's right on the neck, like where your bow tie would be. Thyroids are going to control metabolism and like how your body regulates that. The pancreas, if you remember, was also in the digestive system. Pancreas is going to produce insulin, and that helps to regulate our blood sugar levels. Ovary and testes were both in reproductive. Ovary is the female reproductive organ that produces the gamete egg. The testes are the male reproductive organ that produce the male gametes for sperm. A feedback loop. So basically, whenever anything's happening in your brain, a message gets sent to your brain, and then the brain tells something to start working in response to that. So it's a loop that keeps going, continuous. And on the next page, we'll actually go into more about feedback loops. So what is our function? Come on. Our function is to why am I blinking? Make hormones. Control and regulate hormones. Control and regulate hormones. Oops. All right. How do hormones travel through the body? Hormones travel through the bloodstream. Interactions, feedback loops with the brain. So remember, brain is part of nervous. Hormone production for sexual development, that is reproductive. Controls growth of bones and muscles. Bones are skeletal. Muscles are muscular. Illness is part of the immune system. And endocrine. Metabolism. So metabolizing is how we use up the food that we eat, which is part of digestive. All right. Pause here if you need to add or change anything. So remember that you're going to do this checkpoint. It is 10 questions. They are worth 10 points apiece. It is going in the gradebook, so make sure that you take your time. And at the very end, whenever you're done with everything, I want you guys to practice this DLA review. It should already sign you in, so you just have to click start. And it's basically going over Unit 6 and 7, which are genetics, Unit 8, which is evolution, and Unit 9, which is classification. DLA will be next week, so be prepared for that. Depending on when they come in, it may be on Monday, maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Friday. We don't know, okay? So be prepared.